Welcome to We've Got Words, the podcast no one asked for, and the one I don't want to do today. I'm your host, Brent and Cam, alongside my co-host, who is going to be the host of this episode, Cameron Ponte. Cam, how we doing, bud?
Well, I'm not doing too bad because I know that there's a little bit extra pressure on me today. I know I'm going to be kind of doing more work than I usually do.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm trying to come to terms with that. But tell the people how you're doing.
Well, I think the video watchers can just see me that I'm going through it right now, and this is not a bit. I drank a lot last night, and man, I don't even know how I got home.
Well,
it was a crazy time.
You'll have that on those bigger jobs, you know.
You will find that on those bigger jobs. But the reason why I was drinking so much and we were partying was because this is the high school reunion episode. So man, you guys are in for a treat.
I mean, I had a great time.
Yeah. That all you got, Cam?
Yeah, no, that's the end of the show. Thanks, guys.
So when you said, "Oh yeah, Brent, you can chill today," and like I'll take it.
Well, you know, I'm kind of taking the latter half of everything.
Oh, so I still gotta do the whole beginning part.
Oh yeah, no, it was a bold-faced
Oh my God.
lie. No, I'm just kidding with you, but
thank you.
We had the whole reunion for our 10 years being out of high school.
Yeah, we're fucking old.
I mean, we're not that old.
I don't know. I feel it, man. Like
You look it too, but that's completely besides the point.
I think my theory is because every time I tell people I feel old and it takes me long to recover, they go, "Oh no, 30's not old. I'm almost 30," but I feel like I age faster.
I think you just you overwork yourself in a way where you're just gonna slowly wither. You know.
Yeah,
That's what I see for your future. If I could tell the future. I think you're going to be pretty run down after a certain point. Like, you're going to hit 50s and you're just going to be, like, at a dead stop.
Yeah, so my original goal is to make it to 40. I think 40 is when the withering starts to happen, though. Like,
Oh, you're calling it earlier than me.
Yeah, I was calling it
Oh.
40. Dude, I'm feeling rough.
Well, I mean, there's small steps that you could take to make sure that doesn't happen. Or you could just run
Impossible.
yourself into the grave.
I'm going to run myself. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
What? I'm here to have fun, all right?
You're here for a good time, not a long time, right?
That's what they say.
That's the Brent Nebs motto.
Is that my motto?
It is now.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah.
All right, well.
But I was proud of you, though. Because after the whole reunion thing, you did admit to me that I was right. And those moments do not come as frequent as they should.
Yeah.
But I had called it. I said, before we go, I was like, Brent, I know what's going to happen. We're going to show up. You're just going to fuck off and go do your own thing, just abandon me, and then it's going to be like two separate times at the reunion. You're like, no, absolutely not.
I didn't think, because in my mind, I was like, Cam, I'm not going to know that many people there. Like, we're going to be hanging out, going to a bar like we do every week. I'm going to be hanging out with you. Occasionally we'll talk to new people, but I thought mainly it was going to be me and you chilling, hanging out. No, it wasn't.
Because you were 100% in your element. You were social butterfly mode. And
but in my defense,
you're a lot better at talking to people than I am. I had my own worries because I'm like, what the hell am I going to talk about?
But in my defense, I really did think I was going to stick with you, and that lasted for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty instantly.
Well, we got there, right? We see some people. There wasn't that many people, but more people came towards the end. We got there. We thought later, but still early. Grab a couple of drinks. We sat down with some of our friends that we've known for a while. And, that was great. We caught up. We were hanging out. And then more people came in, and I wanted to talk to them. And you were sitting down. So I was like, all right, I'll be right back. I'm going to talk to, I forgot who I saw over there, but I went with a couple of all of our friends. We met another group of people. And I was like, I'll be right back. And then I only saw you very seldomly throughout the night after that.
Well, yeah, I was catching up with people too. I was doing my own thing. I was trying to do small talk, which, like I said, not the best at, because I don't know, like, what the fuck am I going to say to people? Like, I have not changed that much. I'm still the same fucking idiot that I was 10 years ago. So, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell these people.
I mean, I think your problem was, Cam, you try to see, and you were again right at this. I was talking about all surface level things, so it was so easy for me. You were getting deep, like you were telling me some of the conversations you had, and I'm like, dude, That's what you would like. Did we go to the same reunion?
I don't think we did.
Because we might have went to a different.
I think
like
it
a
was
different reunion.
two very different parties.
You were like, yeah, we were having this like I think you had like a debate about like politics, and then you were like, I also had one philosophy. Like I was smoking and talking about philosophy. I'm like, dude.
Well, yeah, I went outside.
I went to a different reunion.
I went outside and shout out to our friend from high school. We call him Beans. Shout out to Beans. He
that is his name. He was called that.
He smoked me up outside, and it got real deep for some reason. I don't know how it got there, but there was a very deep philosophical conversation, and I guess that happened. I can't really say why.
And what I was doing was I was kind of bouncing around, kind of everywhere. It's kind of off the walls. I realized though, as we all know, I'm not good with names or remembering stories or remembering in general. It could be the alcohol. I don't know what it is, but because you left me.
You left me.
Debatable.
You literally just said like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, but you could.
Yeah, I left you.
Yeah, but you could have came with.
I was
me.
in the middle of a conversation. I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to go follow around Brent.
I've done
like
that.
A
I did that so many times. People were talking to me. I go like, all right, bye. I'm done with this, and I would move on. But anyway,
if I'm in a conversation, I'm going to continue the conversation.
There were a lot of like stories I don't really know. I'm starting to get some of it back, but I realized there were still a lot of names I don't know. But I had a great tactic for making me seem like I knew everybody.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
So there was two tactics. One, it was I would take someone's significant other and be like, "Oh yeah, she went to our school. You didn't know her? Like we had the same class together." And they were really cool. They were in on the bit, and they were like, "Yeah." They were like, "Yeah, we had like biology together." And it would make everyone feel so bad. And I'd be like, "Wow, I can't believe you remembered." And I forgot we made up a name for her. I was like, "Yeah, how do you not know this girl?" And they're like, "I'm so sorry." And then they would introduce themselves. And I'd be like, yeah, see, I knew that's who you were all along. Or I would get someone else and be like, yeah, can you believe this guy doesn't know who you are? And they'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't remember. And then they would tell him their name, and I'd be like, yep, how did you not know that? But really, it was all me getting names.
Your tactic was, I'm going to make you feel bad to help myself.
Yep, but you know what? Didn't really work, because this morning I was trying to tell some stories, and I was trying to think of names. Gone.
Yeah,
because
that's where where it stayed, the surface
level
with everything else that you do.
Yeah.
I will say though, everyone I feel like looked pretty good.
Everyone did look real. We went to like an attractive high school. Like I don't know.
When you put it like that, I don't know.
I don't think so. I think everybody's like was doing well for themselves. Everyone looked good. Everyone was doing something. Like everyone's super friendly, super nice. Like I would hang out with any of them.
Yeah, I feel like everyone was pretty like recognizable too.
Yeah. Now again, not everybody went, so I'm sure our whole class was bad, but for the people that were there, it's definitely a good showing of like our class. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I also was talking, and you probably overheard a few times. But let's just say, man, we have more listeners to the podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I fucking heard. Every time I did bounce around back over to you or something like that.
Yeah, because you would just show up every so often, and you would just be like, "Get me a drink" with an open bar. I'd be like, okay, I would get you a drink.
I made you my drink, bitch. I asserted my dominance.
I don't think it's open bar, Cam. I just went to the bartender. Can I get a drink?
I wanted you to get me the drink because I thought it was funnier that way.
Oh, you thought that was funny?
Because I also used that as a way to get into conversations. Because there was times where like you'd be talking to someone and I wouldn't be doing anything. So I'd be like, oh, you know what? I need another drink. Let's make Brent fucking get it. So I walk up and I go, hey, bitch, get me another drink. And you're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in 10 years.
Yeah, and then
that was my great opening line.
Yeah, and then I'd say, yeah, do you know Cam thought you hated him? And then I would get you a drink.
Yeah, and then you would just leave me in that situation. And I'm like, I never thought that at all.
But in my
and then
defense,
I'd have to like sit there and try to explain like, no, Brent's still just an asshole.
In my defense, I thought that was true.
No, there was there was like one person that was always very nice to me, but I just always felt like they deep down actually hated me, and they weren't even there.
Yeah, I called him though. He didn't answer. No, he didn't answer.
Did he tell you how much he hates me?
But so I was telling people because, and this is again not my fault, which I'm surprised you yelled at me for marketing the podcast.
I didn't yell at you. I said you were talking about it too much. Because you were like talking it up like it was this whole big fucking thing, and I'm like, dude, it's a very small podcast right now. You can't make it sound like it's this thing. Like we have a handful of listeners and that's it. You gotta pump the brakes.
But people were gassing me up because we were talking and I was drinking. We took an edible before we went. So I was feeling good. I was just being myself. At this point, I was still containable, but I was being myself. And everyone kept saying, dude, you're so funny. Like, you're super funny. And there are some of our friends that are like into like the entertainment and stuff. And they're like, yeah, you're so funny. So yeah, it was gassing me the fuck up. Also, I was talking to people that I didn't even think remembered me, and they did. I didn't know them, but they knew me.
That was actually something that was kind of nice too. I think a lot of people recognized me that I didn't expect to recognize me. Like in my head, I was just kind of like, oh yeah, like they probably remember me, but like doubt they remember my name or something like that. And no, they came up and it was great. It was super nice.
When everyone's just gassing each other up, telling me I'm funny, and then like there are some people where I'm like, oh my god, you're so good at that. You probably overheard it a lot. I don't know what I was exactly saying.
You were schmoozing.
That's
what you were doing.
Yeah, I was making people feel good.
You were blowing smoke up everyone's ass and trying to be the life of the party, which that's what you wanted to do. That's mission accomplished.
Because everyone was saying like, oh, dude, like you're so much fun. It's a great time. So then, of course, I had to tell them, well, we are entertainers, and we do have a podcast called We've Got Words, and you're gonna be on it. Like, this is gonna get talked about. So I thought that was all natural, and I saw people, actually subscribe right then and there. Will they listen? Probably not.
Well, I hope they do.
I hope they do.
I hope they do, because they get to hear how much fun we had and that it was good to see them.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. And then I was pretty much contained for the majority of the night.
But then you got messy.
Then I don't know when it hit the point. Probably the time the tequila shots started coming out. So we took one with the person that like brought it on. Like he was like, I was like, oh, you can get shots in this open bar, like a game changer. So we started with a couple of tequila shots, and then at some point the open bar was like closed, and we were like, oh no, our ticket says to like 11:30 or 12, and at that time it was maybe like 9:30. It was early, and the bartender's like, yeah, like I don't know, like what time did it say on your ticket? Because I think you bought a round.
Yeah, no, because I bought shots because we had ordered them thinking it was still open. She had said it was closed. I wasn't gonna sit there and argue. I was just like, I don't give a shit. Like, just fucking. Put it on
and
my
at
cart.
that point, I knew it was still, because like I took two like before you bought them, so I was like, I know you can get them. So then you bought a round, and then when I went back for either the fourth or fifth one, the bartender, she was like, yeah, what time is the open bar? Because everyone was like, you have to pay, and I was like, no, I think it said like 11:30. I was like, regardless, I'll take care of you. Like, don't worry about it. Like, I'll pay, but it did say 11:30 like on our ticket. And so then they were trying to figure out, and I was like, how about this? Whatever you got to do. I don't care. But the way I see the options is you can figure out if it's open bar or not, and I'll either pay or not pay, or you can take this 20 and just give shots and just say it's open bar. She goes, all right, I'm going to take the 20. So I don't want to say I single-handedly saved the open bar, but I pretty much single-handedly saved the open bar.
I'm proud of you, buddy.
Thank you.
You're a real hero of the people.
Either that, or she thought I was cute, which, she was seeing I was clearly the life of the party.
Either that, or she was just doing a bit and she tricked you out of $20.
That would be crazy.
Like, the open bar
Were
was
you
just
in
open.
on it with her?
The
Did you
open
pretend
bar
to pay?
was open the whole time, and she was just like, this guy looks like a sucker. I could squeeze a 20 out of him.
But like, again, I saw you pay, so I'm like, oh, maybe that is like over.
I don't know.
Or she thought I was cute because, again, I was the life of the party. I mean, she could see it. She could see it. But then it came to a point. I think
she was busy working. I don't think she was paying attention to you fucking schmoozing.
I don't know. But then it came to a point where it was like, all right, no more open bar. I'm like, you know what? That's fair. Like, people were leaving, but I still need to get like 7 more shots. So I was like, how about I'll pay for this one. And I got like 7 or 8 shots and like a drink, and she only charged me $17. But I remember like someone in the back was like, yeah, open bar is actually closed now. No more taking 20s for shots. And I'm like, makes sense. Makes sense. You shouldn't do that. So I was like, yeah,
I hope you did not get that woman in trouble.
My fault. She did it. She wanted to.
You're too charismatic, buddy.
That's what it is. Yeah. I'm very charismatic. So in my mind, because again, and I think we did come up with like a life lesson for this, or a tactic that we're going to go forth next time we're at the bar.
Well, for you, yeah.
Yeah.
You learned a valuable lesson about yourself.
Because I was being so charismatic and stuff, there were, some girls there that, that we haven't seen in a while, and we thought, they could be like lesbians, or they were there with like girlfriends or whatever, which super nice. We were hanging out, and, they were like, I wouldn't say flirt. They were kind of flirting.
Yeah.
They were flirting.
They were getting increasingly flirty with you, but you were kind of not clocking it because you didn't.
So I was like,
think it was an option.
oh, like, that's fine. Like, we can take drinks and you can do all
Yeah,
that.
you
but,
just thought they were being friendly.
but you're friendly, right? Because you clearly, you know, I thought into women, right? So then it comes out, no, straight. Didn't know that. So now my new technique is going to be.
I think they were playing off you pretty well too. They were kind of laying it on, and you were like playing back and forth.
Because that's how I am. Yeah. They know that everyone knows
that. The
thing
is that you had your defenses down, and you were like, I'm not going to try because they're a lesbian.
Yeah.
So you were just going off doing your own thing, not caring, and it probably would have worked out.
So now, the new thing that we're going to try, or I'm going to try, I'm just going to treat everyone like a lesbian.
Yeah. Treat every woman like a lesbian.
It might work.
And then, maybe you'll eventually be able to close one day.
Yeah. I think that would work. But, dude, there was just so many shots. It started getting a little. I thought I was fine, but maybe not, because there are some things that you told me this morning. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even know that happened. I didn't even know, like, that girl had a boyfriend. I wasn't even trying. I was like, some people were just irrelevant.
You were in your own world is what it was. You didn't clock much.
I thought, dude, it was so bad. I remembered a story literally right before we started recording, because we made like all of our stories about everything that happened when we touched base. And there was something I completely forgot about, and I started telling it to you, and I'm like, oh my God, this is hilarious. How did I forget about this? But there was someone there who was talking about work and how she travels for work. And I was like, oh, what's the coolest places you've been? And she's like, oh, Vietnam was cool. Japan was cool. And I was like, oh, I've always wanted to go to Japan. It's hard to get around there, though, because not everyone speaks the language, clearly. But in the big cities, they'll know some more English, right? Like if you go to Tokyo, they'll know some English, a little bit easier to get around. But what I've heard, and I was kind of explaining this, like what I've heard coming from the person that hasn't been, is that the big cities, the people aren't as nice, but if you go to the mainland, super nice. Like everyone is really nice, and everyone really likes
the
us.
Country kind of thing.
Yeah. And then she was telling me some people don't like the idea of the Americans coming there and stuff.
Naturally.
And
there's, history involved with why Japan may not look at us that great.
That I agree. Yeah.
Seems like a pretty simple thing to keep in mind.
I 100% agree, right? And as we were talking about this, I recognized those points, right? Valid. And my my response to that, which I don't even really know where I was going with it. I think at this point I fell off. Because my response to all that stuff.
You were getting messy up at that point.
Was, yeah, but baseball. I was like, yeah, but baseball. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah.
Japanese, they love baseball in Brent's mind. That's what they're known for.
No, because the LA Dodgers have a Japanese baseball player who's like one of the best in the leagues, Ohtani, right? He's like one of the best in the leagues.
I'll take your word for it.
So they will have like Dodgers merch, and like they love seeing that because it's like a big deal, right? It's a big deal.
And you thought that just completely just wipes away the atomic bomb?
I just think,
you're like baseball, bombs.
I'm just
it
saying,
evens out. They should like us.
If we've bombed you in the past, sorry. Let's play some baseball and let's just brush it under the rug, and I think we can all get along. That's what's going to help move society forward.
I just love how
baseball.
You're like, they have to like Americans. We have one Japanese player on one of our teams. How could they not love us?
But I have the thing.
How does that track in your
brain?
That
sounds like a ridiculous thing. But
I'm happy you recognize that.
I think I convinced them, because they're like, well, that makes sense, and I was like, does it?
They were probably just trying to shut you up because they're
no
like,
way.
This guy will not stop trying to justify.
They should have known they were not going to shut me up. Let's be real, yeah.
They should have known that.
But the other dangerous thing was a lot of our friends kind of know my like tactics, right? Where I love to make other people make bad decisions with me, right? So when I'm taking 6, 7, 8 shots of tequila, you better believe someone else is going to. Most people will say, no, I'm not going to do that. That's how it always starts. But then the general public will be more, open to a bargain deal, right? If you say, how about this? What about I give you 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I'll get you another drink, come back to me later. Usually people are reasonable and they'll go, okay, that sounds about right. Now, my close friends know, there's no winning with that. You will lose.
Yeah.
Which is why I can't get someone like you or, of all our friends to do it. Sometimes I can. But these people, strangers to the game.
Yeah, no,
They were getting
they are
fucked
not
up.
they are not immune to the devil inside of you.
Yeah, so everyone was
Because
getting messed up.
you are a terrible influence. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy that I've, after so many years of friendship, have been able to kind of see through a lot of that bullshit. But dude,
I mean,
you get a little too pushy.
yeah, but here's the thing. I'm gonna sound bad. I mainly care about myself. It makes me happy when other people make bad decisions. So, like, my bad. I had a great time.
Well, for what you can remember, you had a great time.
Absolutely, and that's all that matters. And I do remember though that, after we had that whole reunion, people were starting to leave. We were going to go to a bar that we've actually been to once, and I remember it pretty well because it was like a vibe. But it was in Providence, Needle and Thread, which was close by.
Yeah.
And we go downtown all the time. We were going to have like an after party. So we got a bunch of guys that were going to go. And I was like, all right, we're trying to rally the troops. I was getting people. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll see you there. Doing that whole thing. Like, oh, you owe me a shot.
The classic Brent Nevs.
And we got, there was a good crew that was down and was going to go. So we're like, all right, cool. We're going to drive back to my house. We're going to get an Uber. We'll meet you down there.
Yeah, which me and you had separate cars. So
Yeah.
we were going to meet at your house, share an Uber into Providence, and call it a day. But why don't you tell the people from your perspective what happened?
Okay, well, from my perspective, I was kind of mad because I woke up not at Needle and Thread. And I was like, Cam, why didn't we go?
No, you woke up, you were in your bed.
Yeah, and fully clothed.
In the clothes that you were out in.
On top of the sheets.
And I was nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so what I thought, Cam didn't want to go. He went home. He just went home. And I went home. Guess we're not going to Needle and Thread. That's
For the
what I
people,
thought.
did you remember the drive home?
I don't know how I got home.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The last thing I remember was I was saying bye to people and I said, see you at Needle and Thread. Last thing I remember. Then I woke up in my clothes.
Mm-hmm. So
not even
to
dead ass.
fill in everyone else, me and Brent are getting ready to leave the bar. He goes in. He's like, I got to say bye to people. I really got to say bye to people. And I was like, okay, dude. And there's like lingering people like here and there. And he's just like laying it on thick and schmoozing and this, that, and the other thing. I got into a weird conversation with someone who was apparently really into wanting to fuck our dean that was there that night. That was a little odd.
I could see that, though.
I respected it. I was like, game recognized game. If you can get it, get it. Finally get you to get back to your car. I was like, you going to be good? You're like, yeah, no, I'll see you at home. It's going to be great. Needle and thread. I was like, all right, perfect.
Last thing.
So you left like, I think like a minute or two before me. I show up at your house and I walk upstairs. Brent's nowhere to be found. I expected to see you like on the couch waiting for me. I was like, this fucker. I go to your room. There you are, lights off, fully closed, asleep in bed.
I was napping.
Yeah.
I
So
was getting ready.
So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. He didn't know how long it was going to take. I get it. Not a problem. I'll wake him up. So I go over to you. I shake you. I'm like, hey, bud.
Yeah, I was hurting,
And I said, come on, let's go. Needle and thread. You said, no, I don't want to go. And I said, yes, you do. You literally just got like 7 people to agree to go. You have to, we have to show up. Like, this is ridiculous. And then you're like, no, I'm sleeping. So then I started just beating the shit out of you. I just kept punching you in the chest and in the arm. I kept trying to drag you out of the bed. And you said, this isn't helping.
In my defense, clearly, Cam, that did not help. I don't remember it, and it did not get us to Needle and Thread.
So then I just said, fuck this. I'm going home.
No, when I said this isn't helping, you should have maybe changed your approach.
What do you want me to do? I asked you several times. I even tried to pull you out of the bed. I tried to punch you. I tried several different approaches, and you kept saying, no, I don't want to go. It's not my job. I'm not your handler. I'm not going to sit there and drag you out into the fucking car.
It's real easy. You go, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to call an Uber. We're going to take a shot. I'm going to get up.
I wasn't trusting that you were going to do that, and you did not need another shot.
No, but I would have gone there for a shot.
I know you would have, and that would have been a bad idea, because in retrospect, you should not have been out.
There are 4 things you had to have done, and it's easy. Come on, Cam. Call an Uber. Give me a shot, right? Lie to me, say that someone else is there that wanted me to go, that we met at the reunion or something, and then end it with, and Needle and Thread. And I would have been like, I'm fucking down. Those were the things.
It's not my job to convince you to go.
Instead, you went with I'm gonna punch you.
I
It's
said,
not
get the
gonna
fuck
work.
up.
And then
Let's
you
do
left.
this.
That's why I do blame you.
No, fuck you. I blame you, you little bitch.
I mean, I think though, overall, regardless of going to the bar or whatever, I think we still had a great time. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stories that we're not capturing and retelling accurately, but I think the general vibe of the reunion was just like we were just menaces.
Well, I mean,
No,
you
it's just-
certainly were. I wasn't really doing much menacing. I was just kind of talking and bullshitting, you know, catching up with people, awkwardly attempting small talk because I'm not good at it. But you know, I all in all, I had a great time. It was great to kind of see everyone. It was honestly, I didn't expect to feel this way, but like afterwards, you know, I wish we did stuff like that more often.
I am curious.
It was good to just kind of catch up.
This
and
isn't
see
in the
people.
script, but I am just curious in general because I was just thinking I would love to hear like how like other people thought it was, right? Like in general.
I would love if people were like, Brent was the fucking worst.
Well, that's what I would love to know. What do you think? Because I would love to know that, but we can't have that. So the next best thing is, what do you think people were thinking about me? And then maybe I'll say it about you too.
I thought people were surprised because I don't think you were that charismatic.
No,
back in,
I was
in
very
high school.
different.
So I think people were definitely kind of vibing with that. But I think you hit a point of no return where the menaceness was a little much. I don't think
do you
anyone had a
remember-
problem with it, but I think people were like, "Oh, that's
He's
Brent."
fucked up. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's valid.
But I mean, there was other
without-
people there fucked up, so I don't want you to feel
saying
shame about it.
names, yeah, I feel shame. Crazy. Without saying names, was there like a story or like a point that I would try to remember that would be like that was the moment? Like everything before that, great stuff. Just because I know that
it was
line.
some of the shot stuff. What you were getting real pushy with getting people to take shots, and people were like,
So-
"Nah, I have to drive," and then you were like, "No, you have to.
So okay, so that's
I'm gonna order them, and you're just gonna take them."
so it's like the classic stuff. It wasn't like catching up, reminisce, where I'm like where you were like, don't say that. Like you think,
No, I mean you were fine for
did
the
it
most
look
part.
like because there are some times where again short attention span, surface level, there's only so much I can say, so I would be talking to someone but then like someone new would walk in and they were continuing with the conversation and I'm like new people, you know, so I feel like I don't know if it looked like I was not paying attention.
No,
It
I
looked
think
like I
you were
was-
probably fine. I don't think there was anything like big like that. I think you were just definitely very extroverted, and I mean some people are naturally off put by that, but I didn't
Do you
see anyone
think-
having like that negative reaction. Like it seemed like everyone was
Do
having
you
a good
think
time.
when
with you, so-
everyone, you know, like, because, you know, we get together and we talk about, like, oh, wow, like, they changed a lot, or, oh, my God, they look totally different. Do you think I would be on the list of, yeah, Brent's fucking different? Like, oh, my God, do you think that story's going to come up?
Probably,
Really?
probably.
So that's good. So, you like, all the people
Yeah.
we're talking about,
But
they'll
I don't
be
think, like I said, I don't think
No,
they're going to say
no.
anything bad about
I
it.
think it's going to be in a good way, but
Yeah.
it's going to be like a shock factor of, like, that was crazy.
Based on how you were in high school, yeah. Because
Oh,
you're
that's
just
good.
you came out of your shell a lot more in college.
I mean, it's the alcohol and drugs.
What about for me?
Um,
Yeah, you don't know because you were just in your own
no,
fucking
no,
world.
no. This is crazy. I think people wondered, like, I don't think people knew how close of friends we were until I started telling about the podcast. Because again, we weren't really talking that much.
Well, I talk to you fucking all the time. I don't need to
And
talk
then
to you
like
at the
even in
reunion.
high school, contrary to popular belief, we didn't talk that much in school, like in school.
We had lunch together every day.
Did we?
Yes.
I suck at memory.
Yes, you do.
But like I didn't think people thought we
And
were
we
that close.
literally in the morning, we would be at each other's lockers and bullshitting. And we every time our free periods lined up, we fucking talked. When we had gym together, we always partnered up. There's so many times we were seen together.
I think I don't know. I think maybe the vibe was like
Which reminds me, by the way, asshole, you know you never fucking signed my yearbook?
yeah,
You
'cause-
refused.
yeah.
You refused to sign my yearbook at the yearbook signing thing. And I was just like, dude, just put something fucking stupid, but just do that. You said, nah, I think it's funnier if I don't.
Yeah, because we see each other all the time.
Yeah, but still.
But I think your vibe was like, I think you were more chill and kind of like still fun, still drinking, still like hanging with everybody. And I think you were shocked that like a lot of people remembered you. You may have not been like as talkative or stuff, but you could definitely tell like, oh, this is a solid dude. I think that's what people
Well-
thought of you.
That's how I've always been. So
But I also think maybe there's something in the back of the mind. You could be like, yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be that close of friends with Brent does. It's crazy. Like seeing me act the way I was.
I think people knew. You know, I think that was tracked for them.
But I just think it's weird because like I feel like
We're
I
just
was.
very different people in
That's
general.
the thing, yeah. So I
But
think people see that and they go, "How does that work?"
not well.
Not, well, depends on who you ask. But the reunion did, and we've been kind of promising this for a while. Bring up some other high school stories. Not for me, because I didn't remember any of these. You were making this list. I will say you made, I'd say 95% of this list. And I was like, yeah, is that a story? You go, yes, there's a whole thing to it. And I don't remember. So if we can take a trip down memory lane and tell me some of these stories that are funny. And please have them be funny.
Please have them be funny. Don't fucking tell me, please have them be funny. I'll do as I please, bitch.
Well, because you made this list, but I'm not giving it a lot of confidence, but.
Well, I mean, the first couple ones are going to have a theme, and I want to see if you can try to pick up on that theme there.
Glasses off, or can I leave them on and take a nap?
No, glasses off. Give me your fucking full attention, you piece of shit.
I'll try.
But these a couple of these definitely, and I am going to name drop it just because it's funny. So I don't mind doxing this person.
If it's one of our good friends, yes, that's fine.
A lot of these stories involve Chris.
Yeah, well, he's our other. Yeah. He would be the third host of this podcast if I could figure out a third mic.
I get that. We'll work on that. We'll see how he feels about that.
You won't do
maybe
shit.
He'll be a guest. No, I can talk to him about it.
Yeah, but I'd have to do everything.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you send me the links, I'll order the extra mic. But let me know if you can pick up on the theme here of these high school stories about Brent.
Yeah. I think I know what they're gonna be, and I don't know what the answer is gonna be at the end of it, but sure.
But so one of my all time favorite stories is this first one that we have here. So we get to the lunchroom one day, and we're sitting down. We get to the table, and you go, hey Cam, you want this Oreo? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? You're like, yeah, you want this Oreo? And I'm like, Brent, I know you. You don't bring a lunch, or you haven't gone up to get your lunch yet. How the fuck did you get an Oreo? Would you find it on the ground? And you said, fuck, you got me. You got me. And I said, you really just tried to make me eat this Florio right now?
I found it on the ground. Yes, that is true.
And then you were like, I'm sorry, man. I just thought it would be funny. I was like, how dumb do you think I am? And then
funny.
And then you just said, okay, I'm not going to throw it out, though. I was like, what do you mean you're not going to throw it out? It's an Oreo you found on the floor.
We called it the Florio.
Yeah. And then you said, nah, I bet you any money I can get Chris to eat it, but you got to help me out. And I said, no, I'm not helping you out. Leave poor Chris alone. Don't try to trick him. And it just so happened that fate aligned, and in my lunch that day, I had Oreos. So I'm sitting there eating Oreos at the table, and you kept telling me, like, follow my lead, follow my lead. I was like, I want nothing to do with this. Nothing at all to fucking do with this right now. And who comes trotting on over to the table is fucking Chris, and he sits down, and you said, dude, you're going to love this. I took one of Cam's Oreos because he's a stupid bitch. And then Chris starts laughing, and the two of you start making fun of me.
I know I'm really good at my job. I know how to get people to do things.
And Chris is like, oh, you fucking suck. Like, oh, I can't believe you let him take your Oreos. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm just like, I'm not saying anything. And I'm just like, you know what, Cam? Just swallow it and move on. So I'm just eating my Oreos. And you said, oh, Chris, you know what would really piss him off? Eat the Oreo that I took from him. And then I just make eye contact with you.
I am so good at what I did. I'm hilarious.
I'm about to say something to Chris, and he just goes, oh, yeah, right in front of him, just rub it in his face that I'm taking his Oreos. Great idea. And then I just said, okay, that's fine. And Chris starts eating the Oreo. And then I'm looking at you trying not to laugh. And then you just turn to him and you go, hey, how's that Oreo taste? He goes, pretty good. He said, you tasting all the flavors in that? And he goes, oh yeah, it's a pretty good Oreo. You said, yeah, you really picking up on it? He goes, yeah, why? He goes, can you taste the floor?
Okay, but here's the thing. That's not mean. That's hilarious. I made this dude eat an Oreo, and you said you weren't going to help me, but then I knew if I could turn Chris against you, you would not care. I orchestrated that beautifully. You helped me.
No, I didn't help you. I stayed out of it.
Yeah, you didn't tell me. That was a big help by not fucking
I
telling him
stayed
was on
out
the
of
floor.
it. If he showed up and he wasn't being a dick to me,
You
I
would've
would have
said, "No,
said,
that came on
"Don't
the floor."
eat that. It's a Florio."
Exactly. I shut you up inadvertently.
He,
I'm a genius.
He stopped me from helping, but you still made him eat a Florio.
Exactly. So I pretty much played both sides. It was great. I got exactly what I wanted.
There was also another one that involves our good friend Chris.
Is he still mad at me at that? Well, that's funny.
He probably doesn't care.
Was he mad at the time?
Yeah, he tried to like spit it out into like a napkin and stuff, and he was like, "This is fucking gross."
Dude, why didn't everybody start laughing at that? Like, that's something you
no
see in
one
the
fucking cares.
That's something at the movies, like in the movies when you see high schools, it's like they're clapping for that shit. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you were the top of the class, buddy.
I should have been for that one.
There was another day where I don't remember exactly what had happened in the at the start of it, but I had done something for you, and you said, "You know what, Cam? I really appreciate that. I'm gonna do a favor for you." I was like, "Okay, like what's going on here?" You said, "Tomorrow at school, I'm not gonna bother you or bully you at all for an entire day."
Yeah, that sounds good.
I was like, oh, I mean, that's kind of nice. Like, that would be a cool mix. I really don't think you can do it, but sure. You said, yeah. Instead, I'm just going to put it all on Chris.
Yeah, 'cause it has to go somewhere. I just can't.
And I was like, well, I don't know if that's a good idea. And you said, no, that's my gift to you.
You can't just create or destruct energy. It just has to get reallocated, right? So, I thought that was fair.
So we get to school the next day, and you and Chris had lockers pretty close to each other. I turned the corner in the morning before homeroom, and you are just berating him. Making fun of his tie, making fun of his dress code, just absolute,
Yeah, but it was stupid stuff.
absolute, like, just tooling him.
Yeah.
Calling him names, getting other people to, like, make fun of him and shit like that. And he looked pissed.
But, you gotta give me some credit. Didn't bully you once.
Well,
during that time frame.
that's not how the story goes. It gets to a point.
Yeah, but up until that point,
where
I was
Chris
good.
ends up he had a beanie on. He put the beanie completely over his face. He put his headphones in, and then he just sat at the bottom of his locker. I don't want to necessarily say the fetal position, but it was the hallway, so it was probably like the fetal position. And he was just trying to drown you out, and you just kept on him. You just kept fucking ripping this kid a new asshole. And it came to the point where I pulled you aside. I said, Brent, you got to stop.
It was like a classic high school thing that you see.
I'm
like,
worried
it was
for his safety right now. You just,
I agree.
I told you, I said, just leave him, apologize, leave him alone for the rest of the day, and put it on me. I don't feel comfortable with this situation.
And I agreed, but again, I can't just stop saying stuff. So I thought that was a good idea. But I didn't feel bad for what I did because it had to go somewhere. You knew this.
I know, but that's why I've never asked for another day of peace again from you, because I just knew that you were going to be a real fucking asshole to someone else who isn't as tough-skinned as me.
But I think over the years, you haven't gotten full day of pieces, but essentially you just pick a target, and that target isn't someone that you necessarily don't like. It's someone that you actually do like, and man, they're just going to experience it all. And
oh yeah, I do.
Chris
I
was
do like
oftentimes the target.
I do
you
like.
were.
I do
Strangers
like
are.
when we pick the target together.
Sometimes, yeah, we pick the target, and
they get the full Brent of it. You know.
So you get it though. So when there's no target, it's you or Chris. That's the fallback. So it makes sense.
Sure.
It's not like I just do it to you guys. I do it to everybody. I'm just around you more.
But the next story that I have is the Valentine's Day incident. Does that ring any bells to you, buddy?
Was this the roses?
Well, they were carnations, but yeah.
Okay.
So they had this carnation sale at school for Valentine's Day, where you can go, you put down you can write a little note and send a carnation to someone. You know, they give it at the end of the week in homeroom. Like, okay, cool. You kept saying, "Hey, Cam, you got to send roses. You're gonna send carnations."
Because you had your crushes or your crushes that weren't crushes, but I told you they were.
There was people that I was just like, oh, this girl's cute, and then Brent would just harass me on a daily basis.
That's all
He'd be
it
like,
took.
Cam, your girlfriend's coming down the hallway, and I'm like, I've never said 2 words to this girl.
Yeah. A girl could have just been nice to you, or you were gonna have a conversation. I'm like, that's your girl. Target acquired.
And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking send a carnation. That weird. I don't need to do that. And you were like, nah, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna send them. And I was like, don't fucking do that. That's so stupid. And you said, no, I'm gonna go do it. And Chris is gonna help me. And Chris said, oh, hell yeah, definitely. Oh, I'm all in on this. We're gonna make Cam look so fucking
it was
stupid.
funny. It was funny.
And I was just like, Chris, we've known Brent for how long now? You know, he's just using you as a pawn.
Some people still don't get it.
It's like he's going to find a way to screw you over. You will be sacrificed for his pleasure. And he goes, I'm not a pawn, I'm a rook. Tell him, Brent, you said you can be whatever the fuck you want.
Wasn't integral to the story. He could have been whatever.
You guys get up, you leave the table, and at this point I'm just like, what am I gonna do? Like, fucking make a whole big deal about it? No, it's a fucking carnation. At the end of the day, I'll just whoever expresses to me that they got a carnation, I just say Brent did it.
Reasonable.
It's pretty believable.
It's a
it's low stakes.
It's a great understory, isn't it?
Yeah. So, what I loved is, and I'll let you tell your middle side of the story afterwards. But so day comes, and one of the people that you sent a flower to wasn't in. So I was able to intercept that one. I was like, they're not in. I went. I got the carnation because they were gonna give it to her on like Monday instead of that Friday.
Did you just ask for it, or did you?
No, I had one of her friends take it. I told them, I was like, hey, this is the situation. Brent's trying to embarrass me. Can you just go?
Damn.
Can you take that and throw it out?
What a
and
bitch.
Just not say anything. And she was like, oh yeah, like I know, I totally get it. That would be weird. I was like, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't fucking do it.
I think it would be cute. If you think,
because this girl wanted nothing to do with me,
and
I didn't really know her that well.
Hey, first off, you don't have to have any feelings about any girl. Just give them flowers. You can just give them flowers.
Why didn't you send out any?
I did.
No,
I paid for all those. Well, Chris paid for them. Chris paid for all those flowers. All right. So
anyway, the other one that you had sent was now this girl I actually was like close with and everything, and we had ended up going to like prom together and stuff.
I was
like
close
that.
with her too. Very close with her.
we'll get back to that. But she saw it. She immediately picked up that it wasn't from me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the handwriting or just knew that I wouldn't do that, and she got fucking pissed.
Yeah, way too mad.
And she ran up to you in the hallway. You were at her at your locker. You just see her barreling towards you.
The price I pay.
And she had ripped the flower up.
Yeah, so many pieces.
She threw it in your face.
Yeah.
And she said, Brent, you're such an asshole. I knew you sent this. Stop being a dick to Cam. He's such a nice guy. You always treat him like shit. And right in the middle of the hallway in front of everybody, you're dying laughing in her face. Well, dude, I'm just like walking by, just kind of like, ha.
I think like our buddies, like who have lockers next to me, were like, dude, people were just stopping the hall going, dude, that was rough. And I'm like, it's not what people think. Oh, you sent her a flower. She wants nothing to do with you. You're an asshole or whatever. No, nothing to do with that. Completely different.
And then so there was a third flower that you said that you were going to send out to someone.
Yeah.
Would you like to fill the crowd in? Because I do know you remember that part of the story.
So I was gonna send this third because you had at the time either 3 people you said were cute, or even if it was like a freshman year thing. I remembered that. I'm like, she's going to get one, right? So I was building this list of people that I was going to send flowers to them from you. And there's one of them that we had a huge bit. I literally made you a custom CD of every song that had this girl's name in it. Yeah, I had to find a lot of this song.
And it was ridiculous, too, because I was like, first of all,
I burned you a mixtape.
I'm pretty sure you made me come in with a CD player so that I could listen to it. You were like, hey, you have a CD player, right? I was like, yeah. You're
ourselves.
Like, I need you. No, I know. But
10 years, yeah, fucking CD player.
That was old back then.
Crazy.
It was. That's how stupid it was. Like back then, it was still super fucking old.
I remember that being like that was hip. Like
no, it fucking wasn't. We had iPhones and shit, dumbass. You very easily could have just made a fucking playlist.
Oh, that's right.
But instead, you were like, I'm going to burn a CD. I still have the
way
CD.
More effort than I put in.
Yeah.
Wow. So I knew that it was. Wow, that was hilarious.
Yeah. So that's why it was like tenfold. And then to shame me, you made me bring in my CD player because you were like, I don't have a fucking CD player. I know Cam's got one. I had to bring it in, and then before school, you made me listen to the entire CD and then tell me, so it was pretty good, right? I was just like, I'm not going to sit here and just fucking like, oh yeah, you got me, buddy. Like, what the fuck?
To make things even better, this is a girl that you originally didn't have a crush on. You were just
I don't even think I ever said 2 words to her.
I think there was one day I was like, who you into now? Who you into now? And you're like, no one really know. Like, no one's new. We're going to the same high school. Like, no one's new. And I was like, but you got to tell me, like, if you had to pick one. And I think you said a name.
No, you were like, what you said is you were like, well, I mean, who's just someone you think is cute? Like, not even anyone like you really know. And I said their name, and you're like, that
became your girl for the longest time. And that was like the bit. I would do shit like that. And Chris would help me. But then apparently, I found out the same girl, I think Chris talked to us about. And I was like, oh.
No, this is what happened.
Then I had a different idea.
Chris told you in confidence one day.
Oh, yeah. What? Oh.
He told you, he's like, hey.
I'm sure that's
I think you were playing like,
now, right?
yeah. You were playing like Xbox or something like that with him. And he was like, I think the 3 of us were on. I like left to get dinner, and it was just the 2 of you. And he was like, "Hey, man, you know, like, can I like confide in you about something?" And you were like, "Yeah, dude, like, of course." He goes, hey, "Make sure like you don't tell anybody. Like, I don't want anyone to know."
Wild, I know.
And you were like, "Dude, you can always tell me anything. I would never." And then so he told you that he had a really big crush on that girl, and that he had like professed his feelings to her,
which was weird
and stuff
to me
like
because he was in on the
looking
bits.
for advice. And then that's what was surprising to you. Is you're like,
made no sense.
You've been helping me screw with Cam about this girl, and you've been into her this whole time.
Yeah, and in my mind, I was like, I could have been screwing with you for this long. Like, are you kidding me? Pissed me off.
So what happens?
I guess I'm sorry. That should have been that bit all along. I'm sorry.
After that conversation is had with Chris, I immediately get a text on my phone from Brent saying, "You're not going to believe what Chris just told me. You can't tell him that you know."
It was crazy.
It was immediate.
I tried.
You didn't even for a second try to keep his secret.
It was crazy news. It was crazy.
You were like, this is fucking wild. And I was confused too. But so continue with the carnation story.
So this became now Chris's girl, right? And I was like, that's awesome. So we were sending all the flowers. He was like writing them. Like I was like, oh, can you write one? Because I was like writing them to to all the girls. You had a list. So I was like, Chris, here's like your half of the list. Here's mine. We'll just write one to everybody. Here's the money, and we'll just just say a note and send it to that person. He was like, all right, cool. So I was doing mine. He was doing his, and then he was like, all right, cool. All of them written. I got mine.
And he addressed it to that girl, right?
Exactly. And I said, all right, cool, thank you. I'm gonna go drop them off in the ballot now. And instead of saying like from Cam, it was from Chris because I dropped them off and told him, yeah, from this person to this person. So then this girl thought he actually sent the flower, and it was another example.
Too, I mean, the other thing you got to remember too is in the morning, Chris is thinking it's so fucking funny that all these girls are going to get carnations from me. And he's rubbing it in my face, and he's being a fuckboy about it, and this, that, and the other thing. Now, at this point, I don't think you've told me that you sent it to under Chris's name.
I did.
You didn't tell me until the morning. Because after Chris was being a dick, and I was just like, dude, what the fuck?
You were came in that...
It's okay. I got it taken care of, and I was like, what the fuck did you do?
Came into that thinking all of them went out to all of them. Yes.
Under my name.
Under your name.
And then you were just like, don't worry. The show's about to begin, and you had homeroom with Chris and this other girl.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So what happened in homeroom?
I just see, so they hand out the flowers, and I just see like this girl like looking like super confused, telling all her friends to come over and be like, yeah, it was Chris. Like I kind of hear him like talking, and Chris has no clue what's going on. And then we were talking. He was sitting at lunch, and he was like, yeah, like this girl got one, and she was like really like. Did you hear all that commotion back there? I'm like, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, Chris, you sent that one. And he goes, what do you mean? You can kind of take it from there.
Yeah,
but
he was like, what do you mean? I wrote that. And we put Cam's name on it. And you said,
no, we didn't.
No, we did not, buddy. I sent that one from you. And guess what? It's in your handwriting. Because you had him write like a little note, like a little love note on it and shit like that. And he was obviously laying it on extra thick because he wanted to make me look like an asshole.
Yeah.
And he's so fucking pissed off at you. And he's like, I can't believe you just did that. This is so fucking ridiculous. Like, now I have to go apologize and this, that, and the other thing. And I just looked at him and I said, who the fuck told you he was going to do this, Chris? Who the fuck told you that you were going to be a pawn in his whole plan and that he was going to fuck you over?
So two reasons of why that's not bad. Three reasons. One is hilarious. We're going to stick that one in. But two, I think, I was trying to encourage you guys. You should be writing notes to these girls and like trying to talk to them. Like, why not? Why
take
is
your own
weird?
advice, asshat?
Anyway, so number two,
yeah,
could have
just
been a
gonna
lesson.
skate right past that one.
Or number three, I'm like, now I don't know how I'm going to explain this, but just go with it. I'm like the angel of justice, okay? Where I like Chris is coming up to me and going like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck with Cam, I'm gonna fuck with this guy, I'm gonna do this stuff, and I go, I can allow that for it to happen, but then I give him a taste of his own medicine. I'm trying to balance the scale.
Well, no, what you do?
I'm trying to teach lessons through pain.
You're like, I'm gonna be a dick to Cam. And then you tempt Chris, and you're like, Chris, come on, this could be really funny. And Chris, wants to be included, wants to hang out with his friend. And then essentially what you do is you're like, oh, you were tempted to do something bad?
I gotta punish you.
Well, yeah, I have to punish you.
I'm both the devil and God.
Yeah, you're like, don't treat your friends like that, you piece of shit. I can do that, not you.
So I'm both the devil and God.
No, I think you're just an asshole.
I punish, but also I'm trying to teach good. Like,
no,
I can be mean.
What good am I learning?
You may not be learning much. All right,
you were just put on this earth to like be my fucking
but what everybody else
devil
is
on my
is
shoulder.
If you want to do bad things are going to happen to you. Now,
and if you want to live your life, bad things are going to happen to you.
It's like I'm saying, like, I'm like, kid, if you want to have my life, you're going to get into a load of hurt. Mine hasn't come yet, but I'm assuming at the end of my life, I'm going to get punished because I
hope so. Can I be the one to do it?
Because, if I truly practice what I preach, right?
When we're like 80 years old and you're on your deathbad, I think I should just be able to just go in and beat the shit out of you.
I think you can do that and be like, come on,
needle
and thread.
Jumper cables on the nipples, just fucking whipping you and shit. I think that would be a great idea.
But yeah, so that was the Carnation story. I thought that was hilarious. I didn't think that's that bad. I think,
again,
harmless joke.
It's stupid little shit.
It's funny.
And they're usually punishing Chris. And sometimes, like, Chris isn't even doing anything bad, because there was also that other time where we were all hanging out at your house and Chris was talking about how his cousin lives like right down the road, and you were like, I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care that your cousin lives near me. Like, what the fuck are you bragging about? And Chris is like, oh, I'm going to go visit him. And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? You're going to come over to my house and then you're going to ditch me to go see your fucking cousin?
That's crazy.
And he's like, oh, I'm just going to pop in and say hi. Like, I'm not usually in the area. And you were like, Chris, if you leave, I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
And Chris was like, oh, haha, yeah, you're funny.
I was very honest.
You said, Chris, I'm not lying to you. I will shoot you.
It was stupid. Yeah.
And he goes, all right, whatever. I'll see you guys later. And I'm like, Chris, I just want you to know he's very prepared to do this. He has BB guns in his fucking closet. And he's like, no, it's good. It's good. So he leaves. He starts walking out the house. There's Brent in the fucking window like Lee Harvey Oswald.
He had a sniper one.
And he just starts shooting Chris with a BB gun.
There were the metal pellets too. It was funny.
And then he just kept saying, enjoy your cousins, bitch. And I'm like,
I think I locked him out.
And I
think we locked him out. No, okay, in my defense, again, if I may, three reasons, because we always get at it and it was hilarious, all right? Two, that's not unlike my behavior. It's not the first time I threatened someone with a BB gun because of a stupid reason.
It should have been.
Like that time you didn't take I think it was like Scattergory's answer, your brother, and I had to shoot him. So it's not out of my character. And three, if you know Chris, he tends to flake out. If he has plans with you, sometimes he will go on a walk and he'll leave.
He was just popping over for like 10 minutes to say hi to his cousin.
He has that behavior now. That's where it started. I tried to kill it before it happened.
And it didn't work. If anything, it made it worse.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a bad assassin.
You didn't miss. I saw him get hit. He was not happy about it.
I mean, I like figuratively missed. Like I didn't change that behavior. I was trying to kill that behavior by shooting him, but I just shot him.
Oh, you know what else you did too? There was that one time, and I just remember this. I didn't even like write it down before or anything like that. But we were all hanging out, the three of us, and we were trying to figure out food. And we were like, oh yeah, let's order like pizza or something like that. And you're like, all right, yeah, Chris, I need you to call.
Right.
And he was like, what? Well, I don't want to call. And you're like, no. You need to call. Like, Cam picked the place. It's my house. Like, do your part. You're like, I'm gonna pay for it. Do your part. You got to call. He's like, all right, fine. He said, I'll give you the number. I'll give you the number.
Do not say the number.
I'm not gonna say the number, but you read
Spoiler,
off.
it's not Domino's.
You read off the number, and
Made a song.
what was it? What was it, Brent? It was the number to that girl
Of course.
that you sent a carnation to.
I knew.
and
no.
he had no idea.
Yeah, yeah. The number I knew so well because I made a song out of it for you because I was prepared with bits. When it switched to Chris, that was a happy accident. But I thought it was weird that he thought I would have a Domino's memorized. It's also weird that I remembered this girl's number.
Well, no, I think you were.
They're
reading,
both weird.
I think when you did it, you like Googled it on your phone and then read him off the number.
I think I had a menu. I think
But
10 years
in
ago, I didn't have a
reality, it was just you reciting this girl's number.
And he calls her out.
Yeah, and he calls her and he goes, "Hello." He starts like trying to put in a pizza order, and she's like, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number." And he goes, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
And then they said,
If you have the
"No,
wrong
this
number,
isn't
yes,
Domino's."
you do. I
And then
hate when
me and
people
you-
go, I don't have the wrong number. Yes, you do. Clearly. Come on.
Then me and you are just like dying laughing in the corner, and you just said, "Chris, it's blank." And he was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then he hangs up the phone. He's like, "You're a fucking asshole." And then you're like, "It's fine. I'll order the pizza."
I'm hilarious. So is the message of this, you said like at the end of it, I'm going to ask you a question.
What do you think the overarching theme is?
Okay, it could be a bunch of things. Either, four things. One, hilarious. You're always going to throw that in there. I could be maybe like trying to teach you guys lessons, and like I was a really wise friend trying to teach lessons at a young age in unconventional means. You could maybe see. I don't see any problem with it, right? I think
You're essentially Rumpelstiltskin.
I don't think I know who that is.
That'll be a deep cut then for literary fans.
But it could look like I bullied people and was mean to them, but I really wasn't because maybe I was always the life of the party, even secretly.
I don't know. I think you were just a prick.
Because now I do that stuff to other people.
Yeah. So do you want to know what the overall message was?
Well, I don't agree with you.
You don't know what it is.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but
What is it?
Am I a bully?
Yeah, you were kind of an
I'm
asshole and
not
a
a
bully,
bully.
especially to Chris.
We need one for the clips. Am I a bully?
Yes.
I don't think I am.
Mm.
Now, Cam, you could put that as a TikTok for this episode that comes out. That would be a great.
Yeah, let's
clip.
talk about this right
Sorry,
fucking
I'm
now,
just saying.
dumbass. You're the worst at this. But no, you were kind of an asshole, and we just put up with you.
I don't think so. Because we had bullies at our school, like every school. I was not one of them.
You were to a select few.
Our bully made fun of a girl in class for crying and praying for her
she
dead
wasn't
friend.
crying in class.
No, he made her cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made her cry with what he said because, we went to a Catholic school, and at the beginning of every
Always
class,
praying.
we would say prayer, and the teachers would ask, do you have any special intentions? Do you want to say a prayer for someone? And this girl, multiple times, it happened frequently,
A
but
lot.
she asked to say a prayer for her friend that passed away. And this was a little bit of like an outside kind of girl, like she was kind of a little strange, always nice to me. I had no issues with her, but
loved you.
she did. But people were always kind of like picking on her and stuff. Felt bad. It was fucked up, but all in all, nice girl. So this kid in our class, because me and Brent were in the same English class when this was happening, she says her intention again for her friend who passed away.
Like the fifth friend.
Yeah. And this particular
It is
person
funny, but it's
just
mean.
right out of the blue just goes, "Yo, why the hell are your friends always dying?" And the whole class just goes silent.
I was laughing.
And this girl starts bawling her eyes out.
It was so
And this
fucked
other
up.
and the teacher just goes like, "What the hell is your problem?
great.
Go to the office." And he's like, "What? What did I do? What did I say? Every single day she comes in here telling me I want to pray for my dead friends. What's wrong with that?" And she's
valid.
like, "Please just stop. Please just go." And he got kicked out of class.
Now, again, that is such a fucked up thing to say, but in his defense, one, it's hilarious. We'll always give him hilarious. But, like,
You
also true, but
you
also
weren't like a bully in that sense, where like you weren't doing shit like
I was
that.
funny.
to
I was
Chris.
just funny.
Yeah, he was just, I think, genuinely annoyed that this girl constantly was saying a prayer, and I think in his mind he thought it was like a different friend.
I did.
I
thought she was the
think
killer.
it was just one friend
I
that she
thought-
prayed for multiple times.
That's why I wasn't friends with her, because I was like, I don't want to be friends with her if they're always dying. So it's a valid question. I thought.
Yeah, no, I mean that's high school for you, you know?
So he was the bully. I was not. I was helping you guys out in life. If you think about it, all of my stories that sound like I'm a bully really have a nice message at the end of it.
I think you like to pretend that it does.
Oh, dude, let's go over it. Florio, I'm telling people, don't try to make people eat Oreos off the floor. Bye.
But you made someone eat a Florio off the floor.
And that was my means of doing that. Because now Chris isn't gonna like bully you into having Oreos when I'm trying to fuck with you. He's not gonna take my side again.
No, that's not what the lesson was learned. He consistently still took your side on everything.
So he's a work in progress, okay?
He never learned his lesson. Every single time you asked him to help you out on something, you screwed him over.
The Day of Peace for Cam thing is all about Cam. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be misplaced. So choose wisely. If you want me to be nice to you, that's fine. You can't complain about that, though, because someone's going to get it tenfold. So learn your lesson.
You're like a fucked up genie in that sense. You
Valentine's Day, again, it's always say don't fuck people over. By fucking people over, that's always a lesson. But also, why not send flowers to people? Who cares? It's really not that big of a deal. I'm trying to help you out.
I do think, though, there is a reason why you were so hard on Chris.
Because he could be so much better. And look how good he is now.
It can be traced back to a single event.
Oh.
There was an incident when we were in high school, and it was it had to have been freshman year or something like that, because it was like really early on, where we were at lunch, and pretty much every day, Chris would, when he'd buy his lunch, he'd get like a chocolate milk or something like that. And Brent would always make fun of him because he would aggressively shake up the
like
chocolate
a fucking
milk.
idiot, dude. Like, I wish I had something to shake. I'm going to shake this beer. I'm just not going to open it. It's my third drink, so it's fine.
No, just
instead of shaking it like this, he would shake it like this. So, I mean, I guess you need the video version for that one,
but he would aggressively shake it up. But Brent would also make fun of him because he would open up the chocolate milk. He would take off the protective layer, then he would screw it back on, and then start aggressively shaking it again.
Yeah.
So
you don't sip it before you just shake it while it's closed. Like, what the fuck? Especially if you shake it like an asshole. Like, it makes sense.
So one day we sit down. Brent decides he's not going to say anything that day. He just let it go. And Chris goes on his usual routine, takes off the little safety plastic thing, closes the lid, and as he's aggressively shaking, I think the lid was cracked or something was broken on it. And it's sitting across from Brent. Chocolate milk all over Brent. Chocolate milk all over himself. Chocolate milk all over Brent.
Kept going,
chocolate
bro.
milk all over himself. Like,
not an exaggeration.
Like 3 or 4 times.
I was literally sitting there like, dude, is this my life now?
And I'm on the side of Brent, just out of the splash zone, and I'm just looking at the two of them, and Brent is just stone-faced, dead-eyeing Chris. Chris just looks oblivious to the fact that him and Brent are covered in chocolate milk, and then
like they didn't care about it.
It stops, and I'm dying laughing. And Chris starts laughing, and he goes, "Oh, my bad." And then you said, "Chris, if you don't get away from me right now, I swear to God, I will go to prison for murdering you."
I was heated.
And I was like, Brent, you gotta calm down, man. It was an accident.
And at this point, you knew, Brent, don't fuck around. Leave.
Yeah, I was like, Chris, you got, and then you just go, you just had to fucking do it. You just had to shake up your milk like a fucking idiot, didn't you, Chris? Just had to take off the fucking protective seal. Why do you think they put it there, Chris? They put it there because of this.
They do. This is why you shake it up when it's fucking sealed.
But so at that point, the dean comes over and asks what happened, and through my laughter, I had to explain because Brent was like, I can't talk right now.
I'm gonna get expelled.
I'm fuming. And then the dean was like, okay, well, you can go get a spare uniform over at the office. Like, tell them I sent you.
leaving.
Like, take as much time as you need. I know you seem really upset. And you said, oh, I will. I'm gonna be a while.
I was taking all the time that I needed because I know nobody wanted that in the school. So either you don't give me the 6-hour time I need to chill, then you're gonna have a murder in the school. Even the dean knew. I believe it.
The dean was well aware that Chris could have died that day. She saved a young boy's life.
So what you're saying is Chris kind of created the demon that has become Brent.
I think that's one way to look at it.
Or do you think I was punished because I would bully him for shaking it up stupidly, right? And I would berate him for it. The second I stopped, it fucked me over. So ever since, I've been berating people nonstop. I think that's the lesson that I took.
think that's your villain origin story.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think it stems back to Chris, and that's why you keep him around because he's your bat symbol. You know?
That's crazy.
He's the thing that you use, but then you're like, yeah, but fuck you because you did this.
Maybe
to me.
Me and Chris should have the podcast. I mean, that's crazy. So it's like he created this person.
Yeah.
But yet, by doing so, now he's with the crisis of, fuck, what did I do with the world? You know, like crazy.
We learned
now
today
I'm gonna get bullied.
It's all Chris's fault.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's a good message.
Hey, I mean, you know, I like to think he still enjoyed himself throughout high school.
Yeah, I hope so. But I mean, I wish we could keep going. We have more high school stories, but maybe I think we told the important ones.
Yeah, no,
right?
I think we pretty much covered
if there's anything
everything.
that you want it before we kind of wrap up, is anything you want to cover? It's up to you.
No, I think we pretty much got everything there. You know, definitely a big shout out to everyone who helped set up the reunion that we went to, and you know, it was good to see everybody. Anyone else who's new listening, definitely reach out. Love to see you guys. Feedback, anything like that. But I mean, in general, thanks for listening.
That's what I'm
overarching story.
That's what the whole golden thread.
You gotta
idea
stop
is.
saying
no, but
words.
that's what the concept is.
You gotta
That's
stop
what the concept
explaining
is.
stuff.
It's that one through thread that connects everything and brings it all.
You've explained it. Everything, every good thing that you agree with. You go, yeah, golden thread.
Yeah.
What? How big is the golden thread?
It's enormous.
Is it a definition for everything? Because every time you go,
The golden thread is the through
just
point.
because
that
you
connects
came up with those words does not mean you came up with the idea.
But tell me that doesn't make sense.
You can't do.
Tell me it doesn't make sense.
You can't like have me do a bunch of like the ordering and you going
Well,
golden thread.
Oh, this is where this issue comes back to every time. Okay, so I originally mentioned golden thread to you, and you were like, I have no idea what the fuck that is. I tried to explain it to you, and I said, this is what we need to do when we structure episodes for a podcast. We need to have a golden thread that we can relate everything to throughout the episode. And you were like, yeah, whatever, we'll see what we can do. And then you always come up to me, and you're like, oh, I loved when we did this. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I was talking about, the golden thread.
Yeah,
And
but
you're just like,
that's not what.
like, that's what I'm trying to do. I like try to point it out to you and be like, okay, see, now do you understand the
'cause to
concept?
me-
And every time you're just like, no.
No, because to me it makes it sound like you're going, yeah, that what you just said, that's my idea. That's what it sounds
What
like.
I said is, essentially what I'm saying is, that thing that you just said is what I told you so long ago, that's what we should strive towards.
So if you weren't idiot and you could explain things better, it would be easier.
Maybe.
Instead of going, golden thread. No, Cam, how about you explain the stuff I realize over time? Instead of going, golden thread, bro.
It's the golden thread.
Like,
It's a camism.
It means nothing to me.
It's a camism.
Yeah, we know it is. Bye, camera.
Oh,
Bye, video people. The audio's
Bye.
rough, but you got an extra 5 minutes there.
yeah. I'm going to start getting naked now.
No, you're not.
It's for the OnlyFans.